The Nuggets need a bounce-back win. Can they get it against the Pistons? Let's find out. You're watching CS 105.1, where I talk about sports and movies with good vibes. Let's get it. Hey everyone, let's talk sound quality. Imagine having pro-level audio that's easy to set up, flexible, and sounds incredible. That's the Røde Pod Mic USB. It's got both USB and XLR connections, so whether you're recording solo at home or in a full studio setup, you're covered. And get this, the built-in DSP effects let you adjust the sound with zero lag. You get that deep, smooth broadcast tone right out of the box. It's versatile, powerful, and basically makes your voice sound like pure gold. How's it going, everyone, and welcome. I'm CS Chandler, here for another take of Nuggets basketball. So the Nuggets tonight faced the Detroit Pistons on a back-to-back, the second game of a back-to-back. And like last night, there was no AG. Starting lineup was Nikola Jokić, Michael Porter Jr., Jamal Murray, Christian Brown, and then again they went with the same kind of lineup as they did yesterday and tried it again, I guess. Russell Westbrook subbing in for AG, or rather the CB for AG and Westbrook for CB, switcheroo. They were wearing the navy blue jerseys. Pistons were wearing their white jerseys. And the Denver Nuggets got their bounce-back win that they needed, 134-121 against those dirty Pistons. This was a great win, especially for Colorado. If you know anything about the Colorado sports going on today, it was not a great day. CU lost, CSU lost, and unfortunately the Broncos lost to the Bengals in overtime. So Denver really needed, or Colorado rather, needed a win tonight, and lucky the Nuggets gave them that. But it wasn't all roses for the Nuggets, and we'll get into the game here. So the first quarter started off, the Pistons controlled the tap. Lately, Jokić hasn't really been getting the taps lately. It's rather odd. Normally, he's he solidifies himself as a really good jump ball control. But then lately he's just has been able to jump. I don't know if maybe something's wrong with his back or something. But both teams missed their first shots. The Pistons then sink a jump back shot for the first bucket of the game. Jokić responds with a made three. Pistons respond with a three. Jokić gets another three. Jokić was heating up from three the entire night. It was so awesome to watch. Him and Michael Porter Jr., they had themselves a 3-point night, and also a little bit of Jamal. It kind of feels like it was like their response to getting outshot by the Cavs last night. So Jokić sinks another three. Westbrook gets the steal, kicks it to Jamal, who lays it in, and Nuggets with a 3-point lead. Hardaway Jr., though, gets fouled at the line, at the 3-point line, makes all three of three free throws, ties the game. Michael Porter Jr. sinks a three. Nuggets go up to 4. Jamal gets a driving floater to get the Nuggets first to 15. Nuggets defense is still not physical enough. This is constantly an issue. It was an issue last night. It was an issue the night before. It was an issue even in the big win against the Suns, the game before Christmas. It was still an issue. And we have a win tonight, and it's still an issue. And it gets even worse than the first quarter. Before or after, it gets better. So it gets better, and then it gets worse. But then we kind of level out. So Michael Porter Jr. is doing really well finishing plays for the Nuggets. That was a great thing to see, is him sticking with the play. You don't see a lot of Nuggets sticking with the play. They shoot, and then they're on to the other side of the court. It's so nice to see when Nuggets stick with the plays, try to get second chance points. That's what you need to be able to get ahead. You know, that's the fight that us fans want to see. You staying with the play, trying to get that bucket as hard as you can. So Russell gets a steal, and as he's falling out of bounds, tosses it down court. Jokić tries to save it, but goes out of bounds. Denver takes their first timeout. Pistons, out of the timeout, sink a three, tie the game again. CB gets fouled, and the Pistons challenge the call successfully because it was on Ivy, I think, and then they switched it to actually no, it was on Thompson, and then they switched it over to Beasley. So it was technically successful, but not in the way that they wanted to, because they basically shifted the free throw or the foul from one Piston to the next. But CB still got his 2 shots, and this was a crazy sequence because he made 2 of 2, but in reality he made 2 of 4 because he made the first shot. Then he went up for the next shot, and one of the Pistons kept on charging the lane early, so they had to redo it. And then he shot it up again. They had to redo it again. And so on the 4th try, he actually got the bucket, 2 of 4 or 2 of 2 if you don't count those other 2, which I don't think they do. So that's good, helping the percentage-wise. Pistons are able to work the Nuggets defense, get the lead by 2. Jokić gets another 3. Nuggets go up by 1. Pistons respond with a 3, get up by 2. And then P-Watt gets the steal, gets it to Strother, who gets fouled. And this sequence here, it was awesome that P-Watt had the grit and the energy to get this block and steal. It was phenomenal. And then he got over to Strother, and they were trying to make the fast break. And Cunningham completely did a take foul. 100%. 1000%. He'd had a take foul, and they didn't call it. And so it was just a side out of bounds call, a foul. It was so stupid. The refs were infuriating tonight. Every call or missed call tonight, it just drove me up a wall with those freaking refs. And you still had them against the Nuggets, and the Nuggets still won, which is amazing when the Nuggets are able to persevere over bad officiating like that. So Hunter gets a fantastic rebound, batting the ball back out to Jokić, who sinks a 3. Hunter is on a great defense. I don't know why Malone doesn't play him more often, because even he has said that he puts him out there and knows that he's going to get good minutes from him, good, hard working minutes. And he doesn't see as much minutes as he should be, because he is one of the best defense players right now on the Nuggets. Of course, the best defense player on the Nuggets right now is Aaron Gordon, because of the size and the strength, and he's always up in people's grill and everything, contesting them fairly well. Then you have Westbrook, who's getting a lot of steals and also putting a lot of heat on players, and then Jamal gets the most amount of steals. And so those 3 are fairly good defenders on a normal night. But then within the bench side, Hunter, I would say, is maybe second or third best, maybe second best of our defensive players, because he gets a little crazy, and that's the kind of crazy that the Nuggets need right now. So that was great to see him not giving up, him battling it out, him batting the ball out to Jokić, sinks the 3. Pistons win the first quarter, though, 38-36. The Nuggets had a lead with the last minute and a half, but then the Pistons sink a couple and went up again. And it's just kind of how it is. Unfortunately, the Nuggets should have won the first quarter, but, the second quarter, though, is where we start to bounce back. So the Nuggets start the quarter off with, again, no Jokić minutes. This has been kind of more of the trend now that Malone is trying to set. The second quarter and the fourth quarter are usually that they begin with no Jokić minutes. And if he can sustain a good enough lead in the fourth, if they have a big enough lead, he won't even play Jokić at all. And then normally in the second quarter, he'll play Jokić within the 6-minute mark. So they start off with no Jokić minutes. Strother goes coast to coast for a first bucket of the quarter. Awesome play. Goes right into a layup. Was awesome to see. Pistons respond with a 3 uncontested by Beasley. What have I been saying every freaking episode? Not contesting threes. The Nuggets they just don't like to contest threes. I don't know why. They just like to ball watch other players making threes, and for some reason, every time they do that, they actually make them. And so why do they still continue to not contest threes when continuously other players and other teams have shown that you need to contest the threes? So Beasley makes a 3. Pistons sink another uncontested 3. Right after this, they sink another uncontested 3, go up by 4. P-Watt gets fouled. They don't call it, but Tyson is able to get the rebound and the second chance points for a bunny hop. Again, just a lot of stupid missed calls by the refs tonight. The Pistons, and I actually think that, we'll get into it later on, but the refs definitely helped the Pistons out a lot more than they even would like to admit. The Pistons miss an uncontested 3. Thankfully, it was missed, but it's still another issue of uncontested threes. Nuggets able to get in the paint and Strother with the floater to tie the game. The Pistons call timeout, and out of the timeout, get 2 points. Brody gets the ball to P-Watt for a reverse layup, and the foul completes the 3-point play. So then DJ isn't able to secure the defensive rebound. The Pistons go to a jump ball, not able to control the tap. The Pistons get it, followed by a steal, and made 3, going up by 2. Pistons get the rebound after a dunk and go up by 4 and are the first to 50. Malone challenges an out-of-bounds call in the second that on a defensive rebound and is successful. Murray lays in the ball to get the lead down to 3. So then the Pistons put up a shot. The Nuggets battle for the defensive rebound, aren't able to get it until finally CB gets the rebound, and Jokić gets the ball and foul completes the 3-point play to tie the game at 54. CB then gets this steal and misses the layup, but Brody is able to clean it up and get the lead. The Nuggets lead, that is. Malone challenges an out-of-bounds, maybe 2 minutes later, Malone challenges another out-of-bounds call that Jokić was telling him to challenge, and this time he shouldn't have listened to Jokić because it was just an out-of-bounds call. And then when they went to review it, they actually saw that Jokić made a foul, so it was unsuccessful. Plus, it turned into a foul, and the Pistons got to the foul line, and they made 1 of 2, which is really stupid. CB, though, stuffed Cunningham, gets the ball down the court to Brody for a dunk. Nuggets get the lead, goes up to 3. Pistons respond with a bucket and a foul, makes the bucket and ties the game. MPJ then goes for a Euro step up to a layup, gets the bucket and the foul, but misses the foul. And then the Pistons respond with trying to get a bucket up, but they miss it. The Nuggets then get the rebound, and Michael Porter Jr. with a awesome 3, followed by a layup by Brody, gets the lead up to 9. The Pistons sink a 3, cuts it down to 6, and the Nuggets, though, win the second quarter 31-23. Nuggets are going to the half on top 67-61. And then we go into the third quarter, and the Nuggets start off with Jokić missing his first 3. The Pistons turn over the ball, and Murray sinks a 3 for the first bucket of the quarter and the half. Nuggets lead goes up to 9 again. And actually the third quarter is the quarter that I was talking about that we really ran with it. This was our best quarter of the season by far. So the Pistons turn over the ball, and again, Murray sinks a 3 for the first points. They get up to 9. Pistons called quick timeout. Out of the timeout, the Pistons get back-to-back buckets, get the lead down to 5. Murray sinks a 3 to get the lead back up to 8. And then Michael Porter Jr. gets fouled at the arc, makes 3 of 3 free throws, gets the lead back up to 11. Then Michael Porter Jr. after that gets a 3, gets the lead up to 12. CB gets fouled on an assist from Jokić, makes 2 of 2, gets lead up to 14. And they just kind of started to run with it. Westbrook gets riled up. This was awesome because he got into it with Beasley and with Stewart. Stewart gets called for a T. And it was awesome to see how fired up Westbrook was, because he gets the team riled up, and then he gets the crowd riled up. And Jokić then, though, because Murray normally is the guy who would shoot the tech, right? And he wasn't on the court at this point, so Jokić shoot the tech, and he missed the tech. It was a perfect time for them to get up a little bit more, but he missed it. But then JB Bickerstaff, the coach of the Detroit Pistons, gets a tech as well during a foul shooting that Jokić then goes and shoots the next play. And he gets one bucket in, and then then JB gets teed up, and so then they actually have Jamal come out checks in, and he shoots the tech, makes it, and then Jokić gets back in for his second free throw, makes it, so he made 2 of 2, and then we got the second tech. And then the lead goes up to 14. Jamal then sinks a 3 to get the Nuggets first to 100. P-Watt gets the amazing steal, and then the dunk. Jamal gets fouled, makes 2 of 2. Nuggets lead goes up to 19. Jokić gets the rebound. Nuggets pass the ball to Jokić for a layup. So he got the rebound, right? He passes it, and there was just constant passing back and forth. It was beautiful to watch. It all comes back down to Jokić, and he goes in for the layup, and the lead gets up to 21. Hunter saves the ball for the Nuggets. Jamal gets a 3. This is what I'm saying. Hunter is fantastic right now, and he's just hunting down the ball, essentially, not the fun, or maybe pun intended, Jamal, so he sinks a 3, and then Jamal makes, he goes to the foul line, makes 2 of 2, and then a steal and a dunk as the lead gets up to 25, and then the Nuggets, they crushed the Pistons in this, and they actually got 47 points in this one quarter to the Pistons 28. They won the third quarter. Then we get into the fourth quarter. Again, no Jokić minutes. The Pistons start off with a miss. The Nuggets get the rebound, get hacked. The Pistons run the ball down and get the layup for the first bucket of the quarter. DJ gets fouled, makes 1 of 2, and he's the Nugget that gets the first bucket of this quarter with free throws. And it's always kind of, I don't know about you Nugget Nation, if you're watching this, but when DJ goes to the line, it's always worrisome. It's oh, is he going to make the shot? He's probably our worst free throw shot maker. I love DJ, but man, he's horrible at free throws. He's just horrible at shooting the ball. He's only a dunker. And so, a dunker, he's more defensive too, getting the rebounds and blocking the shots and everything, which he did a lot of that tonight. But he did go to the free throw line twice in a row, back to back, and he made 1 of 2 in each time. So the Pistons, though, meanwhile, were getting actual buckets, and Pistons start getting hyper aggressive, start to chip the lead down, which was at one point 28 points. They chip it down to 19, and that didn't stop there. So Malone calls a timeout, and the Nuggets get a turnover out of it, which should have been ruled a kick ball. It was again, that's what I'm talking about. It should have been a kick ball. The refs didn't call it a kick ball. Actually, it goes into a turnover. The Pistons get the ball, and then they get fouled, and the Pistons are able to get to 100. The Malone calls the Nuggets' last timeout at this point, and the Nuggets lose momentum after this. The Pistons knock the lead down again. We were started at 28. They knock it down to 13. And then it stays kind of around 13 for a little bit. The Pistons get 3 back-to-back buckets. That lead goes down to 10. MPJ gets a much-needed 3 and lead goes back up a little bit, but then the Pistons go on a 22-7 run. Like, what the hell? MPJ gets another awesome three. Jamal gets fouled, and it doesn't get called. Instead, a jump ball gets called, and the Pistons win it and get a three, getting the lead down to 7 at this point. Like, they had, I think it was, I'm pretty sure it was Jamal. No, it was Strother. Strother had gotten the ball, and they totally, whoever was on him, totally wrapped his arm around Strother's head. It's like, you can't do that. That's a foul. And so they get the ball, and they got the lead down to 7. It was at once 28, and they got it down to 7. This was the most infuriating quarter, I think, of the entire season because of that fact that they went on a 22-7 run, got the lead from 28-7. Jokić has to come back in, and then when he comes back in, it doesn't stop there. Jokić, towards the end there, gets called for an offensive foul, which was completely a flop by Reed. Like, it was so obvious. Jokić started laughing because it was just so bad, and the refs fell for it. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, all of this stuff, like, they were still getting fouled, and that's where I'm saying that the refs really helped the Pistons almost win this thing, because you had a 28-point lead. And the refs just kept on calling fouls upon fouls upon fouls on the Nuggets to keep on sending the Pistons back for free throws, for 3-point plays, constantly whittling that down. There was like a lot of not contesting threes or getting worked out or whatever by the Nuggets, but for the most part, the fourth. Like, there was definitely interference by the refs in this quarter. It was egregious. So the Pistons definitely punched back in that fourth quarter. They won it 32-20, but fortunately the Nuggets were able to hold on to their lead the rest of the game, and they never lost that lead. They did lose the amount of it, but they still had the lead overall, and they won again 134-121. So, crazy game. Glad they got the win. They needed that win, and we'll get into stats right after this. As a cinematographer, photographer, and now a podcaster, I do believe lighting is everything. And if you're serious about creating dynamic content, you need to check out Nanlite. They're all about precision and control. Whether it's soft, natural lighting or vibrant colors, Nanlite gives you full flexibility to set the mood for any scene. From compact LEDs to powerful softboxes, Nanlite has light solutions that fit every setup. It's ideal for photographers, like myself, videographers, like myself, and creators who want to pro-grade quality right out on their fingertips. With Nanlite, you're lighting like a pro every time. And we're back. All right, so let's get into these stats here, shall we? Christian Braun played 29 minutes tonight. He made his required double-digit number for points tonight. 10 points, only by one, but we'll take it. 10 points, awesome. He did a great job defensively. And unfortunately, I don't know if there was any DPOG chain called. There was nothing on social media or anything for it. So, but he should have definitely, him or Murray could have easily have gotten that chain tonight. And maybe it was a chain that was just given to the entire team because of how good and bad the defense was overall tonight. So 10 points. He had 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, 1 block. He was 2 for 4 from field goals, 0 for 1 in 3 points, 6 for 6 in free throws, 0 turnovers, 3 personal fouls, was a plus 14. Then we have Michael Porter Jr. played 33 minutes. He had 26 points, 3 rebounds. He was 9 for 14 from field goals, 5 for 7 in 3 points, 3 for 4 from free free throws. He had 1 turnover, 1 personal foul, was a +5. 5 for 7 3-pointers. That's awesome. 71%. Awesome MPJ. Going MPJ, you know. Don't trade MPJ. Nikola Jokić played 37 minutes. 37 minutes. In 37 minutes, he made 37 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists, so almost a triple-double. 11 for 17 from field goals, 4 for 5 and 3-pointers, 80%, like phenomenal. 11 for 14 in free throws, 2 turnovers, 4 personal fouls, was a +25. Russell Westbrook almost got a triple-double as well. He played 30 minutes, had 8 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals, 4 for 6 from field goals, 0 for 1 in 3-pointers. He had 6 turnovers, 4 personal fouls, was a +13. Like, his game tonight was just all over the map. He did plays that were amazing. He did plays that were horrible. He did plays that, just either way affected the game no matter what, whether it was negatively or positively. But ultimately, I think overall his energy just really affected positively the Nuggets game tonight. Jamal Murray, like, for all of you Jamal Murray haters, you gotta give him credit. He played an amazing game tonight. He played 39 minutes and made 34 points, had 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 3 blocks, 12 for 21 in field goals, 4 for 7 in 3-pointers, 6 for 7 in free throws, 1 turnover, 1 personal foul. Like, 1 turnover, 1 personal foul. Come on, haters. Jamal Murray he's heating up. This happens every season. He needs a couple of months to get himself back into mode, And now we're starting to see more of the Jamal Murray that we know and love. He was a +24 tonight. And then the bench, not too much really from the bench. It wasn't really a great bench night. I mean, Strother was a -5. Peyton Watson was a -6. Hunter Tyson was a +7. And then DeAndre Jordan was a -12. But again, they weren't great offensively, but they were phenomenal defensively with Strother and Peyton Watson and Tyson, and even a little bit of DeAndre Jordan. He had an awesome block. Peyton Watson had an awesome block. He had also 2 steals. Strother had a steal. So, some decent minutes there, but also some horrible minutes because, like I said, in one half of the game, the last half, we had our best ever quarter and then our worst ever quarter. Like, that ain't right. So overall, stats here. We had 40 rebounds to their 41. We had 29 assists to their 29, so we tied in 29 assists. We tied assists there. 8. We had 9 steals to their 8. 6 blocks to their 1. We shot 46% from field goals. They shot 48. We shot 48% from 3-pointers. They shot 30%. We shot 80% from free throws. They shot 73%. We had 13 turnovers. They had 12. We had 18 personal fouls. They had 25. So even though they had more personal fouls, I feel like it's still, that fourth quarter was ridiculous. They should have had more. I'm surprised that Stewart didn't foul out. I'm surprised that Duran didn't foul out. I'm surprised that Reed didn't foul out, because all 3 of those guys were aggressive to the point of, like, almost, I would say, getting them teed up and almost, ejected from the game of how aggressive they were getting. But, every game is different. Every officiating is different. And some officiating, they just need to be honest about it, is bias. I think that it's just, they're human. You have human officiating. Of course, they're going to be biased in some kind of way. I don't believe that officiating in general is immune from being biased. So But still, it's awesome to see the Nuggets win, and they won despite all of this stuff. Great comeback win, so we'll take it. And we'll get into big takeaways after this. Hey everyone, if you're looking for a game-changing webcam that keeps up with every move, you've got to check out the Insta360 link. It's a 4K AI-powered webcam that auto-tracks so you're always in frame, even if you're moving around. Perfect for live streams, meetings, content creating, also podcasts. It adjusts to light, zooms in and out, and follows you naturally. This is hands-free, hassle-free, studio-quality production for anyone who wants professional visuals right from the desk. Insta360 Link is a total game changer. And we're back. All right, so big takeaways here is the Nuggets played their best and worst quarter. Like I've already said, they played their best and worst quarter in a season in the last half of this game. Like you had 47 in one, and then you only made 20 in the other. And at one point, you only had 7 while they had 22. Like, that was just stupid. But then you also had an amazing 47 points in the third. So, it was this game almost had everything just about, And then this feels like the game that could and should get the Nuggets on the right track as they head into a 5-game stretch with teams that they should win against. But if the season has taught us anything, it's that the Nuggets can win against any team, but they can also lose against any team. And they almost lost in the worst way possible against the Pistons tonight. Like that would have been the cherry on the top of the shit cake if they had lost a 28-point lead and the game. That would have been worse than the loss against the Timberwolves in the playoffs last season. So I'm glad that they corrected their issues, held on to their lead, and won the game still. But if anything can be taken away from the last several games, it's that the Nuggets offense is good, like really good, like championship level good. And their defense is so freaking horrendously bad that they struggle to get wins a lot of the time because of that. So there needs to be a moment where the defense starts to stick with players. Malone tonight in his press conference was quoted tonight saying he shouldn't have had to put his starters back in the game during the fourth, which he is 100% right. They had at one point, again, a 28-point lead, and the Pistons knocked that down to 7. Now, some of that was with help from the refs, again, like I've said before. But you got to give the Pistons credit. They didn't stop, and they almost embarrassed our starters when the fourth quarter was going on. That was with their third string of players. Not their second string, not their bench, not their normal bench, their backup bench or whatever. Their third string. They almost won this game alone with their third string against our starters. That is incredibly embarrassing. So, there's a lot to be happy with this game, but there's a lot to still be kind of upset with this game. And we need a good 5-game winning streak to kind of get this taste out of our mouth and to see that they are really starting to heat up. The Nuggets, that is. It shows that the lineup the Nuggets have is great. It just comes down to being disciplined enough to learn and stick with the plays that the coaches make. And then I would even add, though, that Coach Malone needs to be better with his with how he calls timeouts and doing his challenges, because he hasn't really been great with his challenges, even going as far as never even using his challenges in games that they have lost. Had he used his challenges a lot of the times, I think that a lot of those outcomes could have been different. So it's not just on the players, it is also on him. And he needs to be better. His staff needs to be better as well. And like tonight, they shouldn't have called the challenge on the out of bounds call on Jokić. It got overturned to a foul call on Jokić. Like that just shouldn't have happened. And then you also could have used that challenge later on an actual call that you could have won and actually been more impactful with. So like it's not just the players, the coaches need to be better as well. But a lot comes from the defense. This defense is just horrible. It's horrendous. It needs to get better. Like I would love to see the Nuggets get up to at least the top 10 best defense of the league. You don't even have to get number one. I don't think that it's possible to get number one. That's going to be for the Celtics and for the Cavs and for probably the Rockets, Houston Rockets, and maybe even OKC. Like you have those teams, they're already way ahead in defense. But if we can just get into at least that 9th or 10th spot with defense, that would be phenomenal for the Nuggets. And then you have one of the best offenses there already, and so you can run with it, So that's the big thing there. The next game is on the 30th in Utah against the Jazz, and then they come back for a home battle against the Hawks on the 1st. So you have the Jazz and then the Hawks, and then you have a back-to-back with the Spurs. So like a good chunk of games that should be able to be won, and you combine this win with that, you can get a good 5-game win streak, because then after that we have the Celtics, and that's going to be tough. If you can at least get 5 wins right now, if we do end up losing against the Celtics, at least we have that 5 win to kind of give us some padding against the rest of the Western Conference. And then it also means that, we've have been, as fans, high enough that when we get a loss, it won't be as bad. But if we lose again to some of these teams that we should be winning against, like a Wizards and a Pelicans and Trailblazers, then it's just going to be really depressing when we lose again, or more so to the Celtics. So hopefully they can bounce back. But what does this win mean tonight? So the win tonight gets us kind of even with where we were before. We had already fallen to the 7th seed from last night's loss, so we're sticking at that 7th seed. We are 17 and 13. The Lakers got a win, so they're now up to our 5th seed spot. They stole our 5th seed spot, and the Clippers are right behind them. So they both are tied with 18 and 13, and then we're 7th there in the play-in. So hopefully that 5-game winning streak could propel us back to that 5th spot. I really don't know if we're going to be able to catch up with the Mavs, even though the Mavs now have two players that are suspended. It doesn't matter. They still have Kyrie. They still have Clay. They still have Luka. So, actually, no, Luka's out. So they still have Kyrie and Clay. Like they're fine. They're still going to be able to get a lot of wins. I don't see the Mavericks hurting at all, or at least falling into the play-in. They're going to be within that, at least the top 5 in the Western Conference for the entire season, I feel like. So, but they did lose tonight against the Trailblazers. So now that loss against the Trailblazers feels that much, or a little bit better than it did before, because they lost by 4 points against the Trailblazers tonight. And that just took the sting out just a little bit now. And then the Suns also lost to the Warriors. So that's nice. And then the Knicks won tonight in overtime, and they almost lost against the Wizards. So there's something to say for these bad teams this season, that they can definitely win against you. And that's kind of the power that a horrible team has against the rest of the league, is that if you just really don't want them to win against you, and when they do, it's just shameful. And especially when they take you into overtime. Like, it says something. So now I feel a little bit better about the loss against the Wizards, when the Knicks themselves, who have been phenomenal, had to go into overtime to be able to beat them. They almost lost against them. So, and then the Hawks are actually playing really well. right now. So I am a little bit worried for that game against them later on the first. But hopefully the Nuggets are able to sweep the Hawks this season. They did last season, so hopefully they do it again this season. Especially at home, you got to defend home. So, but that's pretty much all I got for this episode. And we'll be back again on the 30th. But I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe. Show it out to your friends and family. And you've been listening to CS 105.1, where I talk about sports and movies with good vibes. We'll catch you later.